Alrighty, so to continue on, we're going to be looking at blue mono today, and I wasn't really sure what I wanted to run. I guess pretty much what I have planned is we're going to run the highest dungeon level of the event dungeon in Fort Solgris. I would actually like to try some of the higher levels of the Broken Clock Tower because they're actually like a lot tougher once you start getting up the ladder there, but unfortunately, one, I don't have a key for it at the moment, and two, I don't know if I would want to waste time messing around in there when I could be farming anvils. So we're gonna do one or two of these maybe, and then I probably just one, to be honest, and then I'll hop over to a death match because I thought originally that her passive was worded to where you needed, or it could not be used in deathmatch, but it's actually only excluding PvP. So I figured that might be actually pretty decent against the red demon, but I don't know. It's just going to be an experiment either way. So we're not going to use any food or anything like that. I do have blue Jericho in the back to kind of boost damage a little bit. It's going to boost it by 10% because she's a blue unit. And then I'm using red Gother because I'm actually using Valenti just because I don't really know. I just wanted to... I guess I wanted to use Valenti a little bit because I'm probably not going to be doing a showcase on her specifically because she's really only good for final boss. Like just the fact that her passive makes it to where if you use a buff skill, it disables your recovery stats for 2 turns, I think it is. That really just doesn't apply to a lot of situations. So I'm gonna stall a little bit here and see if I can sort of get their ultimate gauges a little bit higher, and then we're going to test out some damage and everything like that. We have Droll after we finish this one. I actually think Ludo's on the team as well, and I think it's Dreyfus. I'm not quite sure, but I don't know. This is the last stage, so you can see we're taking a little bit of damage here. So they're at about half ult gauge. I kind of want to stall one more, but I don't know how well that's gonna go because these guys are kind of weak as it is. We're gonna throw one of the AoEs out and then just pretty much, I think we're gonna end up finishing them right here. The problem is they're gonna end up doing a pretty decent amount of damage in the second phase because they're a lot tougher opponents. So with me needing to stall and get their ultimate gauges up, it might have been worth it for me to just bring in lifesteal food or something of the sort where I can kind of regen, or just a healer unit in general so I can stall. So maybe I might do that instead of Valenti, but honestly, like if the whole gimmick is you being able to stall until their ult gauge is like a little bit fuller so that way you can do better damage, it might not be the best unit to use in general. But hey, what do I know? I think we're going to hit Dreyfus with this, why not? And then we'll move one of these cards, because maybe her ult will do a decent amount of damage, especially if they have high ult gauge. She's dealing pretty good damage as it is. Like, I have to say, she's not bad. Like, she can actually dish out pretty good damage. He's using heavy metal, which is actually kind of nice, because the more... The buffer he gets, the more I feel like it's going to kind of show that he can actually deal some pretty good damage. I'm going to throw out the level 1 card here. Actually, I'm going to rank it up and then use the level 1 card, and then we'll detonate with Valenti just because I'm not expecting a whole lot of damage out of Valenti. So that removes his buffs, actually, and I completely forgot about that, but kind of a nice card to have, honestly. We actually killed him fairly easy there, which, honestly, this stage isn't, like, super crazy in general, so I'm not super impressed. I think the boss battle stage will kind of show a little bit more. So he's got 3 ult gauge. He's only got 1 ult gauge. I'm afraid that they're going to... I'm afraid they're going to, like, focus down Valenti. I don't think 2 of their cards are really going to do the most damage in the world here, so we're just going to stall one more turn, so that way Ludo has 4 ultimate gauge, and we'll see how much damage we can do. That was close. Okay, so we're gonna try a level 1, and then we're gonna try a level 3, and then if anybody survives, we'll use that. So let's see. Level 1, 67,000. Not that great, but not too bad. Level 3, 167,000. So pretty much double. And then that one does 115 by itself. I don't know, not too bad. If I can't remember, does her level 3 card remove stances? Because if it does, then it might actually help for blue demon or red demon even more, because he does assume a stance like the second turn of each of his phases. Let's check that really quick, and then we're gonna hop over there really quick and try one out. Okay, so it does. All right, I'm really hoping I haven't already done all of my boss battles. Okay, cool. I have not. Very lucky for me, I guess. Get a red demon going. I think I'm going to try to solo it, actually, because I don't really want the help of a teammate kind of slowing me down here. We're going to go on Hell. I'm going to keep Escanor on the team because, I mean, I don't know, why wouldn't you really? But we're going to replace Blue Bon, I think, just to kind of see if she can sort of fill in the gap there. Blue Bon honestly doesn't do a whole lot of crazy damage to begin with. So let's up her pierce rate with Gother there. And then I'm pretty confident in this already. Let me grab her gear back. And then we're going to throw on demon food because one, I need the horns, and two, I'm pretty confident that we'll be able to beat this. Even if Escanor has to end up soloing, I'm pretty confident. Problem is, Red Demon doesn't have a rank up unit that I can use, so I'm not going to be able to get a level 3 card with her to cancel stances very easily. But it is what it is. We're going to try to burst down this first phase as fast as possible because obviously he doesn't even have an ult gauge, so we're not going to be able to actually gauge anything out of this. And he immediately gets the stance, so that is a little unfortunate there. I think we're going to merge and then double Escanor card. It might have been more worth it to maybe put on lifesteal food since I'm trying to solo. But more like, I'm really just trying to gauge the damage here more than anything. If we can pull another one, we can actually cancel stance, which is kind of nice. I don't know what her natural lifesteal is either, so I'm wondering if she would be able to sort of lifesteal back a little bit. I think we're just going to keep throwing Escanor cards out. Alright, that was trash. Not good, which he doesn't have an ultimate gauge, so she's not getting any benefit at all from her passive. So, to be expected, I guess. We do have the level 3 here. Problem is, obviously he doesn't have any sort of, like, we're not going to get any sort of amplified damage here. Let's take off the stance with this and then attack with Escanor. And try to just get through this first phase before we throw that level, or that the level 3 card, because I think that would be best case scenario. So let's do this. I don't know how well that's going to do on its own. We will merge and then throw out that. I don't think this is going to kill because I don't know. I just don't think it will. I'm 1-6. Yeah, 65k, not very good. Is what it is. Stun, that way we can make sure that he doesn't put up another stance. Okay, nice. We got Escanor cards so we can finish off this first phase without having to use anything crazy. I'm not worried about losing this card. I'm pretty sure I'm going to end up losing that second card. Boom. It is what it is. Like I said, I'm more or less just trying to test out here. See how it goes. I forget how big his ultimate gauge is on phase 2 and 3. I want to say he has, so it's quite a bit. let's try to stall a bit and see how much ultimate gauge we can fill up here. Okay, that'll heal us a little bit so we won't have to worry about dying so much. 369 damage. Oh, and we sealed the ultimate gauge. I'm an idiot. I am absolutely stupid. Okay, very cool. And we got another one. I was just trying to waste the card in general. But that's pretty nice, I guess. Okay. Let's just put up a shield. We'll hit with this card, because why not? Throw away this Escanor card. I'm kind of saving the Escanor ult for the third phase, because obviously the third phase is definitely the worst. 4K on a level 1 with 0 ultimate gauge. You can see Escanor's still dealing 40,000 by himself, so that should kind of help you gauge the damage there. So he's still not doing great. I'm wondering if it's going to use his cards if I stun. I think it will, because it should tell me what cards he's going to use, right? It does not. I thought it... Never mind. I guess it's just a waste of time to even think about it. We're just going to throw some cards away. He's got 3 ult gauge already, so she did like 3 grand, 3k damage or whatever. Let's see how much she does now with 3 ult gauge. Already up to 16k, which isn't too bad, because that's a 90% increase on damage. Okay, we got good Escanor cards, that's not bad. Plus he's in a stance too, which is also kind of like helping him as far as like damage reduction and stuff like that, because it raises his defense and everything. Okay. So he's got a little bit more ult gauge. We're going to test with a level 1 again. I don't want to seal his ult gauge. I don't... Escanor's not going to kill for sure either way, but I kind of don't want to get him too low. That was 30k damage. Pretty good, honestly. Like, she's doing a lot now. I mean, not a lot, but it's getting better. Obviously, I think the big downfall here is that there's way too much buildup involved for it to really matter about bringing her into the demon. Maybe if you want to solo it and you know that you're going to be in here for a couple of turns, so you could just like stall and then get big damage out on one of the turns that matters. So he is 1 away from maximum ult gauge here. Let's do another level 1, and then we'll try out the we'll try out this card, and then we'll ult to see how much the ult damage does, because it should scale to her ult as well. So we're at 45k. We're pretty much doing as much as Escanor does with a level 1 at this point, which is a little lackluster. 11k on the AoE, that's not good really. And then what's the ult gonna do? 128. So still not really all that good. I don't know. Maybe she really is just gonna be kind of like a final boss sort of like character, which is going to kind of suck. I mean, obviously you can use her in some scenarios, like maybe when Tower of Trials kind of rolls back around, she'll be pretty decent for that. But even then, some of the well, I don't know, some of the Tower, I was going to say some of the Tower of Trials seal your ultimate gauge, but that doesn't really matter because it's their ultimate gauge that you're worried about. So let's go ahead and kill him off here. Pretty confident in that. We're going to let him get his stance during level, or well, actually, will he go first right here on phase change? Can't remember. No, it's my turn. Let's heal up, and then we'll throw the ultis out. I'm not too worried about it. It's not going to do like crazy insane damage yet anyway. And then we'll let him build up his ult gauge a little bit, and we'll try to throw out this level 3 mono card. Escanor. Big ult coming in. I didn't crit, unfortunate. Boom. So, I mean, he's doing 95k at a level 2, which is, I mean, she's only doing like 120, was it even 160? I think it was just 120k with her ult when he had almost a full bar of ultimate gauge. So, that is a little unfortunate. let's just go ahead and try this out, because honestly, like, this is getting kind of like, it's just very slow, and you can already kind of tell that this is not worth doing. So let's just go ahead and throw in some damage. All right, so removes the stance. 106k, that's not bad, but obviously, like I said, getting a level 3 card in Red Demon is already going to be hard enough, and, you know, you're probably going to want that with more old gauge, and it's just, I don't know, it just doesn't work really. So I don't know, it was fun for like an experiment to try it out and everything like that, but in general, this is just not worth doing. So Mono, I like this Mono a lot. Like, I think she's really cool, and she's definitely better than the red Mono, but the problem is it's very niche on when you would actually want to use her, because she, like, even if you were going to try to use her for like an auto farming team or something like that, because you would need them to gain ultimate gauge, and the whole point of a farming team is to get them, like, get it over with as fast as possible, they're probably not going to have a whole lot of ult gauge to begin with. Plus, she only has one AoE card, and it really doesn't do a whole lot in general. So I don't know, kind of lackluster. Honestly, I really like it for Final Boss Bond, but I think that is just because it actually works really well with the kit that they have, and it kind of just, it meshes good in that scenario specifically, and in a lot of other situations it's really just not going to work. So that is pretty much it, all I have. Tomorrow we're going to be going over Nanashi, and he should be kind of fun, I guess. It'll be a little bit of PvP, so I don't know, we'll try him out. We might even put him in the sub slot a little bit, because his passive does work in sub slot, and we'll just see how it goes. So thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to subscribe for more content in the future, and I will see you guys in the next video.